Hello, 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 everybody. This is Dr. Shaniva, earlier craft doctor, and I'm here with a video. I just purchased the We Are Memory Keepers button press. The reason why I purchased it is not because the round, but they came out with this new square. And if you know anything about buttons or badges or whatever they call them, square buttons are very expensive. The actual square piece this is small compared to the normal. This one is 1 1/4, and this is the box for it. That was in there. It's 1 1/4. The normal size is 2 by 2 square, and so theirs are smaller, but they're very expensive. Just to buy this machine is 1600 and something dollars just to do a square button. So when I seen this, I said, oh yeah, pick it up for it. So it came with this piece. This is supposed to be considered the medium one, because they have small, medium, and large. And so this is the medium one that's round. And I'll do a quick demo with this one too, for it. So this is the square mechanisms. This is the piece that cuts the square out. This is the top, and this is the bottom. Same with this. This is the top, this is the bottom, and this is the piece that cuts out your circle, which is good because now you don't really necessarily need an external cutter, even though I find that the external cutter to me works better because I'm not tethered to the machine until I get ready, or the maker, until I'm ready to use it. Okay, so then what you do is for this, my camera is focusing on this thing here. But you put this base plate in there. This is the base, and this swivels. Whatever you put in here swivels. Then you take this piece, which has a magnet right there, and you just line it up with these dips, and it magnetizes in there, right? So what I did was I created a design. This says, can you see that? That says Parkerland. My daughter, of course, y'all know I'm so proud of my baby. She's having a baby. I'm so happy. Her and her fiance is having a baby. And so um my first daughter, my only daughter's first daughter. And so what you do is you line it up um with it inside of the whatever you're doing. It has to fit inside that, like it's about a 1 inch circle, I believe. A 1 inch square, not a circle. Duh. I think it's a 1 inch square. And matter of fact, let me see. No, it's a little bit more. It's a 1 1/4 inch square. It has to fit inside of this 1 1/4 inch square. So when you putting it in there, you put it in on the base, and you use this, because there's a blade in here. You remember the old spellbinders, Sizzix dies, Biggs dies? That's what this remind me of. And so you turn it like that until you get it into place, and then you press down on it. Okay, you might have heard a little cracking noise. What that did was it cut out this. It cut it out. So then let me measure. Yeah, that's like 1 1/2 more than 1 1/4. But let me see. Yeah, that's closer to 1 1/2. Okay. Anyway, so then I cut that out, right? And so I'm going to do a round one and a circle one, just so you can see the difference. Just in case you have the circle one and don't have the square. You take your little thingy here, and you, trying to make sure my head don't get in the way. Okay, so you put that in there, and you swivel. See, that's one of my problems. My paper needs to be cut down. It's in the way. Okay, so you put it, circle. This kind of feels like it's magnetizing to it, but it's not. You can also put um, like some tape on the bottom of it to get it to stay in there. So the goal of this is to get it underneath, to get this little green piece underneath the white piece. So when you press it down, you can cut the circle out. Because that's the object. It's just to cut the circle out. Okay? So since we got one square, I already cut some out of these. But I wanted to cut some out of at least one of the circles. So then you take this off. So then you're done with this. Okay, so I'm going to set this up. So you take your base piece and you line up your base piece. It has an arrow, an A here. Can you see the A? So washed out with this. There's an A right there. And you line that up with the base arrow. So there's an A, an arrow down, and an arrow up here. There's an arrow up here. You see that? A. Sorry, y'all. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we got the base in. Then all you have to do is put your top in. The top, there's an arrow right here. There's an arrow right there. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so there's an arrow right here. And there's arrows on here. This says A and B. Okay, oh, come on, camera. Here's my autofocus. You can see the word top, and there's an arrow right here. And so all you do is you line it up, and because of this right here, there's a magnet. It lines up, right? And then this swivels to A and B. So make sure when you first start out, it's on A. I think you can see that. Let me see if I can. That's better. See, it's A, swivel, B, and then the same here, A, swivels, B. Okay, let me bring you back out so you can see. Let me do this. Okay, so now we got our setup set up. It's set up for you. Now, what you do is, for this, you take your button part, the top, and you just slide it in there like that. You take your actual paper. Let me tell you something about paper. Don't use anything but regular typing paper. Don't use like cardstock. Use the thinnest sheet you can, because if you don't, it's not going to work right. It's going to be too bulky. Okay? So use the thinnest paper you have. Then you take these little things here. They're called mylars. And all it is the stuff we use all the time. The clear sheets. They're thin. And you can see that very thin. You put that right over the top. Because what it's doing is giving the shiny coating to your button. And it's protecting your paper. So make sure that you have your button design in there. And we're going to make sure that we're straight. There's like arrow marks here, or slash marks here and here. You see that? So do you know where you're straightening it up at? Then you can swivel. You can swivel from this side, or you can swivel on this side. Doesn't matter. Well, it kind of does matter, because let me tell you. Well, actually, no, it doesn't matter. What happens is when you swiveling, now the this is the top. See, it's always at the top, and that makes a difference when you put your pen back in. This is the top. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a marking right there to let me know when it swing back around. That's the top. Okay, so that's the top, and it kind of seats itself right in there. Okay, so now we're on A and A. You make sure that you are on A and A. And you press down. When you pull down as far as it goes. When you do that, what this machine does, in all machines like this, it sucks the button part up there, right? So then you take the back part. Make sure that the part that has the opening is face down. So you put that in there, just like that, and then you swivel it back around, and then you turn this to B. Both of them. You turn them to B. This arrow is an arrow. Say B and arrow. And then you press. Give it a hard press. And when you're done, it should swivel out. And then you can pick this up and punch out your button. You don't even... And you can see that that is a perfectly designed button. I don't know why I can't ever get this part in right. So see, this is the perfect... My button is perfect. You can see that? Park and land. But my thingy is sideways. I don't know. Maybe when I bring it back around, I need to put it on the other side. I don't know. Oh, because you're turning it to B. Duh. Turn it to B first and then put your pin back on. Okay, that's what you do. You turn it to B first and then put your pin back on, and then it will be right. All right, let's see if my logic works. We're going to take this out, and we're going to seat in our base, and we're going to turn it to A. Make sure that your arrow, it says A. We're going to put this piece up here, and remember, this has a magnet, which makes it stay. And then you can twist it to A and or B. And so this is the thing. You have to make sure when you put this in, it's where the A or B is, so you can see it. So I didn't put it in there, but now I did. Now it's on B, swivel it to A or B. And that it could be, it's on both sides, so it doesn't matter. You just have to make sure that it says A or B on both sides. See that? Make sure it's matched up with the A. Matched up with the A. Okay? All right. Ooh, back out. And then I'm going to take the design. I made this design in my Silhouette software. So wherever you want to make your design or your clip out or whatever. So we're going to put this in there. And then we're going to take one of these little Mylars. I always try to keep the Mylars in the packages because they're so thin. If you don't, you'll find Mylar somewhere and you'll be losing them and you'll have to buy Mylars. Most of the time, I buy extra Mylars because I lose them. Because this is not my first button maker. I actually have 2 professional button makers already. Okay, so now we're at A and A. We have our Mylar, our paper, and our button top. So I'm switching this over. And now we're matched up with A, arrow, arrow. Sorry, y'all. You know, cousin, get the barking as soon. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so now I have it on A. And all you're going to do is press down. And if you did you hear that? All I did was press down. And what it did was it sucked it up into the top channel. Okay, so when I swivel this around, voila, voila. Now turn this to B. Turn this to B. And we're going to turn this to B. And we're going to put our pin back in there. You know, we're going to put